Hello and what's up guys, welcome to another episode of my drawing tutorial series. In this video we're going to be learning how to draw the basic layout for the head, and later on we'll be getting in depth with eyes, nose, mouth, and all of the rest. So without further ado, let's get started. So what I normally like to do is just basically kind of map out the basic rectangular kind of shape and then just kind of go ahead and round it up. Also, I would like to apologize while I'm drawing this for the lack of consistency in my videos. I've been slacking a lot lately and school has been pretty much beating my butt. So yeah, when you get your basic shape like so, which is actually pretty thin, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cheat and widen this up a little bit. There we go. What you're gonna want to do is kind of just measure the largest width of your head and kind of just eyeball it on each side. And once you have that, whatever length seems to be suitable for you for your neck, really, I don't have many tips. Normally what I like to do is use half the head. So all of this section would be my length for the neck. And then once I get that, I would pretty much just draw my one shape to the point where the one or the hips line up with the little width line that we marked earlier. But for this one, since I always draw women, I'm going to go ahead and draw a more of a manly figure. And as I'm drawing this, I just noticed that I'm really drawing big, so I won't be going for a full body. My proportions for the one are a bit off, they're a little too high, but that's not really a problem since I'm just gonna square it out for the shoulder anyways. So right now this looks very rough and brutal, and this is why I like to call this brutal painting. As I normally tell my girlfriend when I tell her not to take details too seriously or too deeply. And so I'm just going to go ahead and place my shoulder references with lovely little circles. Find about the center of my one. Mark the pec muscle. And with that, I have an idea that my rib kind of ends, my rib cage ends somewhere around here, so I'm just gonna indicate that as well. I kind of went too large with the rib cage, so if ever that happens and you're not drawing a super skinny guy, it's nothing to worry about. You can just cheat and make that into a muscle mass. So I'll go ahead and make a new layer. And on this new layer, I'm just going to refine my edges. Right now we can't really see what I'm doing too much because I kind of went crazy on the head. But once you start getting your shapes in on top of your skeleton layer, which I'm actually going to go and make a lot lighter. Oops. Like so. You don't really want to start trying to draw the whole shoulder and then the neck. What I like to do is just kind of give it a bit of a lump here because of the clavicle, and then after the clavicle just gradually make my way up to the neck and the rest of the head. So right here I kind of went overboard. My neck looks either too long or my head too small. So this is really a trial and error, I guess you could say. I'm not used to drawing digitally all the time. So to correct that, what we could do is either make the head bigger, or you could just bring the head down a little bit. So it's gonna, in my case, I have a small head, so I won't really bother with having it so perfect. I'm just gonna lower it just a little bit, see how that looks, and it looks much better. What I also like to do is from here just kind of swoop it in towards the inside, and then when I can come to mark my clavicle, it just feels a lot more natural, and I already get kind of a sense of a shading that kind of does a S, so going in, then back out, then back in, then back out, kind of a wave. But let's focus on the head alone now, since we pretty much get a gist of how we place it on the neck, the distances and whatnot. From this point on, we're going to be playing the half game, where I cut this section in half. That's where my eyes, well, the center of my eyes will align. And then with this section over here, we're going to split that in half once again. That's my nose. And then with the following section, we're going to split it in half. And that's roughly where my mouth is going to be. Pretty simple in a way. For what comes of up here, it's really optional. I mean, if you want someone with a big forehead, then you probably start the hairline here. Someone with a smaller forehead, you start it lower. Sometimes you could just come in like this. Yes, I've seen people that way. As for the nose, proportion wise, I guess you could just split the head in thirds, and the center part would be where your nose is meant to align with, as well for your eyes. So this would be the beginning, and then you judge the size you want. I mean, if you're drawing more of a manga style, then of course you'd have like a lot bigger eyes that probably cover this much of the head. And if we're drawing someone with smaller eyes, then it covers something more realistic, more proportional within this little box that we've just created. My simplest way of building up a nose when I'm really lazy is simply I kind of just draw a bit of a triangle. This way I know my nose is there. This is on the triangle is the shading, and then the center line that we drew afterwards for the mouth, I kind of just use that as well afterwards. I normally like to add a little line for the bottom lip just to indicate some shading. And my eyes, I really just do the basic peanut shape that we find everywhere on YouTube almost. And for the sake of me, well, because I'm very lazy, I'm just gonna copy paste this, and also to save some time. So place it where it's meant to be. Somewhere like this. Oops. For the ears, normally I take this center part of the eye. So So I normally take just here and here, so that gives me kind of a small box to work with. So taking both lines of the eye and the nose, and that's where I want to place my ear for the most part, between that box or inside that box. Once again, it depends if you want to draw someone with big Dumbo ears, you can go ahead and do that. If you're drawing someone with elf ears, I normally like to stretch it a little past the lines, or sometimes I'll just exaggerate it and skyrocket those ears and really bring them far to the side. But I'm just being very rough right now. And that's pretty much the basics of the head. So thanks a lot for watching, and see you guys next time.